Yeah, first of all, I'll introduce myself to those who I haven't met, had the pleasure of meeting before. My name's Kevin Manninen, and I'm new regional economic coordinator for Wolfetter for Ontonagon and Baraga counties. So I know maybe I met, this is actually my second time at the meeting here in Ewan. First time though was in unofficial capacity as I was not yet on board, so wanted to make sure I made it to this first meeting. Mainly four things I want to go over. One of them certainly takes precedent, as you know, on the, I believe it was the 20th, that we had the meeting with Paul Arsenault, who is the official representative of ENLS Railroad. So that was arranged by Ann Josmo Miller, and Amy Berglund was also in attendance along with Scott. So the good thing that has come out of that is one question was answered, was about the railroad, and now we know that they have said that they are not going to do anything to it until April or May. So at least now we know where we stand, and that allows us some time to do something. And so I think that has to be our #1 priority right now. There's been talk about doing a study. I'm certainly interested in anyone's feedback on this issue. Now maybe the talk is to use revolving loan fund money to perhaps do some kind of feasibility study. My only feelings about that are, if we hire some group or some company and they do a feasibility study, the end result is going to be probably the same as if 10 of us sat around a table and talked for half an hour and an hour. I would rather see us, let's take a few good possibilities and let's do a study into actually implementing these. So let's go beyond that and into the next step. So unfortunately, Julie Malcori called me. She said she cannot make it. She has to be up in the Keweenaw tonight. She has had, some very good ideas, and I would suggest, if we want to get an ad hoc committee of a few people and look at a few of these very good possibilities, and let's look at them in more detail. And if we have to possibly spend revolving loan fund money, let's do it on that. So we come up with something concrete instead of a, tell me something I don't already know idea. Frank?
They're waiting till April or May
Before
they do anything with the track, and that's not
up.
Contingent on moving forward with trying to do a study.
That is
that
not
correct?
contingent. The main thing is that Paul Arsenault wanted to express that we're going to work together on this, and we'll work with ENLS through him.
Okay.
So
The one thing, and I agree with you in terms of a group of the right people can come up with a good feasibility study locally. One of the problems that I've always had is because there's such a potential for bias to it, nobody pays any attention to one that you've done yourself. When you go to start looking for funding anyway, from that standpoint. Just my 2 cents on that.
So there's a few different ways we can approach this. It can be a group or however we want to do it. So certainly I'm open to your suggestions as to how we want to approach it. Shall we put together a small team and really work on this issue and give it a #1 priority?
Well, I think given the time constraints that we have on this, we have to make sure we keep this thing moving along one way or another.
One way or the other, I'm going to keep this moving on.
Well, and I think the people we have available, not only this group over here, but doing Malcori and some other people yourself, that's a group to get together. Some group should be formed from this area to start looking at whatever we can do for the
Okay, so we'll leave it at that right now, but we'll get back to this issue. Certainly, Scott's already agreed to work with me on that one, so one way or the other, we're going to get the word out there. We've already had a few inquiries, which I can't say much more about because I don't know that much myself, so we'll be following up on those. So right now, as I see it, that's the top of the list of priorities.